And welcome, my friends, to Final Fantasy ASMR. This video shall be the final chapter of Final Fantasy ASMR. I hope you have enjoyed this adventure. We have been on a great adventure. We have defeated, slain, and banished the elemental fiend of earth, Lich, the elemental fiend of fire, Marlith, the elemental fiend of water, Kraken, and, in the previous chapter, the elemental fiend of wind, Tiamat. While inside the flying fortress of the ancients, we discovered a convergence. All four elemental fiends are convening on a location on the center near Cornelia, the Chaos Shrine. Whatever is the true origin of the evil that is plaguing the world of Final Fantasy. We're going to find out what it is. So please enjoy. Sit back and relax. And let us close this chapter of Final Fantasy ASMR and complete our grand adventure by restoring the crystals to grace and saving the world. Amano, Shenwu, Lucille, and Erebus have had a tough and challenging journey, but we're drawing closer to its end. Let's start. Since this is going to be the greatest challenge that Final Fantasy ASMR is going to throw at us, we need to make some final preparations. But I know any challenge our Warriors of Light can overcome. We will save the world and bring light to everyone. Amano, Shenwu, Lucille, Erebus. Let's do this. Now, this is where things are going to get interesting. We're going to make some preparations for our final challenges. Inside the Flying Fortress, we found a key item called Adamantite, a legendary metal of renowned strength. A very quick journey in the airship. We'll have a use for this. Inside Mount Duragar, besides having some friendly dwarves. Lolly-ho! You Gabriel Smith. Smith. And the Smith he is. We're going to go speak to the Smith. Is this adamantite? I'll use this to make the finest swords you'll ever wield. Get to work, Smith. And so, a legend is born. Done. In all my years, I've never crafted a finer sword. Go on, take her. She's yours. The Warriors of Light obtain Excalibur, the ultimate weapon. We have obtained Final Fantasy's ultimate weapon, Excalibur. By swapping the adamantite we got for free anyways, we obtain Excalibur, the ultimate weapon that can be wielded by Amano. It grants an incredible increase to our accuracy and strength. A sword crafted from a legendary metal, it is effective against all types of enemies. So, it targets every enemy type with its weakness. Truly, a weapon to surpass all others. Now we have Amano's preferred build that I will choose. the Aegis Shield, which protects against stone and poison, Excalibur, which is effective against all types of enemies, and diamond gloves, diamond armor, and a diamond helm. The body of the diamond armor will protect us against lightning, kind of suitable for a warrior of light. Zhenwu only needs 2 items, the Protect Ring, to defend against instant death, and a ribbon that guards against all elemental attacks and status effects. Lucille is on her optimal build. We will be switching around Thor's hammer and the healing staff, a Protect Cloak, a Protect Ring, a ribbon, and a white robe. We only need to get 1 more item for my preferred optimal build for Erebus. We need some kind of armor for Erebus. Besides that, our characters are almost at the complete peak and pinnacle of their strength. But there's only one way to find out. Before we go to the Chaos Shrine, there's one challenge we must take on. I will explain this as I turn the encounters off. Now, for those of you who watched the previous episode or chapter of Final Fantasy ASMR, you may recall when we went inside the Mirage Tower and went up into the Flying Fortress, I said in the area before Tiamat, the Fiend of Wind, that there was an incredibly dangerous creature lurking on that bridge. We were fortunate to not encounter them, but this creature is what is considered in a game as a super boss. Given the early release of Final Fantasy, when it originally came out, the concept of a super boss was quite rare. Now, what is a super boss, you might ask? A super boss is an optional encounter with an enemy that is exceedingly powerful. Sometimes it's hidden away, sometimes it's easy to miss, but the one thing it shares in common is that it's incredibly powerful, sometimes rivaling or even exceeding the power of the game's true final boss. This creature resides in the Flying Fortress in a very particular area. We need to make sure that we are ready for the final boss. So I say a great way of testing our powers and abilities is to take on this incredible challenge of the game's super boss. If we can defeat it, we know we are ready. And while we're waiting for it to spawn, we will be making experience and gil that we can use for items and any last-second adjustments to our Warriors of Light. The brilliance of this super boss in Final Fantasy, the original adventure of this legendary series, is just how well hidden away this creature is. Now, listen to my words. This small, unassuming area is just a bridge that leads to the Wind Crystal. I'm going to look this up in the sacred texts right now. Bear with me for a moment. I'm just looking up how long it takes. Alright, there are conflicting opinions, but let's go with the typical. The super boss that we are searching for is a creature known as Warmech. Now, the brilliant thing about Warmech is it's an incredibly rare encounter, and it can only be found on this small, or big, unassuming bridge leading to the Wind Crystal. It will spawn just like any other encounter. The only thing that stands out about it, it's a Warmech, something more from science fiction than medieval magic and fantasy. But this creature has unbelievable strength. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do our training on this big bridge, and then we're going to defeat enemies and grow our strength. But we must always be prepared, for any single encounter could lead to a battle with Warmech, the game's hidden super boss. This creature is so powerful and so well hidden that when the game was originally released, they ran competitions in magazines urging players to go and find it. Even more, try and defeat it. So, every single encounter we are on, every single encounter on this bridge could lead to a great epic encounter, one that I'm not sure if we'll manage to overtake, but that's part of the challenge. We are preparing for the final challenge, so we need to challenge ourselves. So we're going to get our optimal setup. Erebus, Lucille, and Shenwu are protected from status effects, and Amano now has the ultimate weapon, Excalibur. For a little bit of trivia, one thing I love about the Final Fantasy series is eventually you get ultimate weapons. In this title, you only have one, the Excalibur. However, in future titles, you get ultimate weapons tailor-made to the individual party members. So, they all have their own mythologies and references. I think it's really suitable that a knight, a warrior of light, obtains Excalibur, a weapon known in legend as the sword used by the legendary knight and leader of the Round Table, King Arthur, of the 12 Knights of the Round. And as the future of Final Fantasy goes on, you get other cool names and mythological designs and legends of weapons. These includes things such as the Ultima weapon, the Lionheart, the Kalad Bolg, and many more. The Nirvana, the Masamune. But for now, Excalibur will do. Now, let's get training on this big bridge. We must be prepared at all times for an encounter with the game's super boss, Warmech. So, we're going to play it safe. Look at that, Excalibur slays the Dark Fighter in a single move. There's going to be a lot of training on this bridge. With this setup, I'm going to have auto battle on. Shenwu and Amano will pretty much one-shot any enemy they attack. Erebus will attack all enemies with fire. And Lucille will give a little bit of HP back to the party, which if the enemy doesn't get many times to strike, should be enough to restore the entire party back to health. This is our training. As we are searching for the game's super boss, we are getting stronger and better prepared to encounter it. Excalibur is a powerful weapon, one to surpass all others in this game. I've always loved that about Final Fantasy. You do have a definitive ultimate weapon. Rather than having, nowadays standards, a game with a meta list. Here's the top 10 strongest weapons in Final Fantasy. They just leave you an absolutely undeniable ultimate weapon that you are intended to use for the finale of the game. And in Final Fantasy I, it is the Excalibur. The strength of our party is best highlighted through these encounters. Amano with invincible defense and the ultimate weapon. Shenwu, who you could say is the ultimate weapon, fighting with only their bare fists. Lucille, always on standby, with healing magic and destructive holy spells. And Erebus, with forbidden black magic. This team should take us all the way to the end. Even in an instance like this, We are training. These enemies will provide us with great amounts of experience, as well as Gil. We'll be swimming in it by the end. 4 air elementals. Every single encounter could go south very quickly due to the chance that Warmech could spawn. Excellent. All party members at level 40 at the moment. A fire spell should deal with these black flans. Excellent. Training. Pretty much all RPGs, especially by nowadays standards, have moments where you have to go to previous areas and repeatedly battle enemies to increase your strength. Sometimes it can be annoying having to just go back and do the same battles over and over. In this instance, at least we have a final objective to reach. Any encounter could lead to the legendary creature known as Warmech. But we're leveling up as we do so. Because we're encountering the same kinds of enemies, we are well prepared. Look at the strength of the Warriors of Light compared to when they first started their journey. If we were using normal cure spells, we would have ran out of magic by now. But now, thanks to our equipment, we can attack and heal an infinite number of times. Any encounter could lead to Warmech. This also adds a level of tension, because you can't just go, oh, there's Warmech, let's prepare for them. It's just you have to be prepared at any moment. So that's why I've got Lucille healing the party every battle, just in case. Warmech does a devastating amount of damage, and you'll see why when we encounter them. Excellent. Victory fanfare. The might of Excalibur. Ambushed. Oh, we got poisoned. Not to worry. We have spare antidotes. We'll use a Healara spell. Notice our maximum HP is going up as we do this training, so gradually our chances of surviving something as powerful as Warmech will increase, as we have more HP to stand above the challenges of our foes. We grow stronger, but no sign of Warmech yet. But be prepared, even I don't know when it's going to appear. So we could be here for a very short duration or a very long duration. We don't know. The only way to find out is keep getting into battles, and hopefully spawn the game's super boss. We're going against the game's ultimate challenges, so it makes sense before the very end of the game to train and strengthen your characters. Even against something as insurmountable as this, 6 mind flayers and 2 clay golems. We got caught off guard. Shenwu has high evasion, but can be caught off guard with a solid strike. Despite our power, every one of the Warriors of Light is still is not infallible. Not to worry. This is where the spell Full Life, level 8, one of the most powerful white magics, comes in handy. Shenwu comes back with full health. Enemies with high physical attack can catch Shenwu off guard, but we can bring him right back with Lucille's magic. Also, it's a fair trade. Shenwu has an absolutely ridiculous amount of attack just with their bare fists. And if anything, is that not the journey of a martial arts master? You have to fall. The master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. Plus, think of something like a Jackie Chan movie. Think about how entertaining those things can be, where the martial artist is at some kind of disadvantage and still manage to overcome the odds. The only difference is Jackie Chan does it very amusingly. A fight in a ladder factory. But here, we're in a flying fortress looking for an ancient robot. Go figure. That's how powerful Shenwu's bare fists are. There are enemies with elemental weaknesses, but physical strength. Basically, they're strong against physical attacks, and Shenwu's like, I just don't care. I'm just gonna punch my way right through it. Continue our search for Warmech. The element of risk. At any moment, Warmech could appear. We'll get to show the strength of Amano's Excalibur, Shenwu's Forbidden Fist, the potency of Lucille's heels, and the forbidden energy of Erebus's dark and black magic. Continuing our search. Victory is ours. Gonna be on autopilot for a little bit here. How cool is that? We've got enemies as powerful as this trying to run away from the Warriors of Light. How satisfying. I'm almost tempted, because we missed out an experience from them running away, to just go, "Don't make me run after you." But we can't get too overconfident. These enemies can still catch us off guard, but Warmech especially. It is the game's super boss for a reason. I am glad that we have not encountered it yet in the previous chapter, because we weren't quite ready enough yet. We perhaps could have taken Warmech down, but we don't know that. The more we train here, the more certain I will be. A dark fighter. It is cool how over the generations in different Final Fantasy titles, there are different ways to prepare for the final challenge in each title. There's always one area in a game that gives a ridiculous amount of experience points, or an enemy type that provides something that will give you the ultimate edge that you need to secure victory. For example, in Final Fantasy VIII, there's a really cool one where there's two islands. The island closest to heaven and the island closest to hell. Final Fantasy X has an area called the Omega Ruins. It's just cool to have these optional areas that will provide you the ultimate strength boost needed to overcome the most powerful of enemies. Excellent work. Wow, Shenwu just railed right into them there. Making valiant progress. Going up quite a few levels. Preemptive strike. They're finished. Need to be ready at any moment. Apologies if this part of the video is a little bit monotonous, but it's a necessary evil. We do need to genuinely do this to encounter the super boss. Some other titles have fixed encounters where you know if you go into this area, you will find this boss at the end of a dungeon. Warmech is hidden in the game for a reason, because it's so powerful. You can bump into it by accident and consider it a normal enemy, but then it strikes and you get an instant game over and you're just left like Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. We're trying to wage war with Warmech. We'll find them, don't you worry, my friends. I don't sense Warmech yet. We're just gonna have to see when they appear. That's part of the surprise element, though. When it appears, I will be like, oh, there he is. Get him. The strength of our characters has been building steadily through this training. Level 43 for the entire party. Amano has 4 level 1, 2, 3 casts of white magic. Meanwhile, Lucille's got 7 casts, and so does Erebus, of the most powerful magics possible. Hopefully that's going to be the difference between victory and defeat. We need to save our magics for Warmech, because we are going to need them. Continuing our search. Still no luck. But we're easily dispatching our foes, which means we get a lot of gil and experience for doing so. But any single enemy could catch us off guard. I mean, look how much gil we've got. Amano can use white magic. Check that out. Our knight casting magic really gives off that vibe of a paladin. Putting the pal in paladin, if you will. Come on, we can find this creature. Continuing the search for Warmech. Let's speed this up. The more encounters we get into, the more we increase our chances of finding the game's super boss. Just speed it up. Four fire hydras. Amano having the Excalibur, which gives us an elemental exploitation attack, really helps out. We've almost maxed out our damage in Amano in some cases. Proterra to protect themselves, but it won't save them. Fist of Fury. It's taking a lot longer to discover Warmech than I anticipated, but we're almost at level 45 now. Very powerful level to be at. This well prepares us for whatever could lie inside the Chaos Shrine. So it's worthwhile going here anyways. It's not just Warmech we have to encounter, but whatever is causing the root of all of this evil that has infested the world of Final Fantasy. But look how swiftly we go through these enemies. The level of comfort that we have in our strength. How solid our setup is, that we can put it on auto battle. And we have confidence that no disaster will occur. Level 45 we're reaching now. Can we find Warmech before we reach level 50? I don't know. Maybe you'll all be asleep by then. We don't know. And that's part of the fun. I don't know which encounter it's going to be that leads to Warmech, so we need to be prepared at any moment. All right. 4 air elementals. Enemies are fast, managing to hit the whole party there. Oh wow, we went over 999 damage there with Amano. Nice one. Use Amano's Cura on our friend. We will find this super boss. We just don't know when. The Dark Fighter doesn't want to fight us. Making Gale and making XP and fighting round the world. Damn, Amano and Shenwu are tearing it up with raw attack. Shenwu getting into the 1000 damage range now. Just being cautious. Heal up our party. This is the altar of wind from which the power of wind flows forth. Wind crystal, guide us towards this forbidden foe, this final challenge. We just need them to spawn. It is good that Warmech is such a rare enemy to encounter, because if you're unprepared, you're finished. Game over. I wonder if we're either on the fortunate or unfortunate side of encountering Warmech. I wonder, any of you have played Final Fantasy before? Did it take you a long time to find Warmech? Or did it take you as long as ourselves? Anyway, even though this is taking a long time to discover the game's superboss, it is helping us, so it's a necessary evil. I mean, we're all at level 45 now. Even though we haven't encountered Warmech yet, we're training very powerful, in the hopes that we encounter them. We don't want to spend all this time getting ready for Warmech and then Warmech wipes the floor with our Warriors of Light. That's not happening. Not in my Shadow Realm. It's getting to the stage I might need to take a break from searching for Warmech. We'll see. Aren't you glad that this game has the auto battle feature? Imagine having to manually input every input for these battles. It would really drag it into monotony. Luckily, we can just set it to automatic. We know what every party member wants to do, so just fast forward. "777. Jackpot. Maybe that's a sign we're about to encounter Warmech. We hit the jackpot. Let's see. Not quite. Nice number. Excellent. We've run into so many encounters it would make you think there's nothing unusual about this area at all. But that's not the case. I'm going to do 3 more encounters and then take a small break by quick saving. We don't want to lose any of this progress in case things go wrong. So as of this battle, we'll do 3 more battles, then make a quick save. Don't want to lose all this progress after all. One. Two. Okay, 1 more battle and we'll make a quick save. Okay, I lied to myself. I lied! we're gonna do one more. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little save here at the Wind Crystal. A little quick save. So that way if things go south, you never know. We don't lose gaining 6 levels of progress. I mean, look at the strength increase. We've almost got a full 9 casts of the max level magic. That is very cool. Now let's make a quick save. Safety first, my friends. Save complete. Okay, I have an idea. This could potentially take 5 minutes or up to an hour. I have an idea. I'm going to continue training, and once I get to the point where we encounter Warmech, I'm going to use some of my special talents, my special skills. I am Alakazam ASMR after all, a Meridian magician, and I can use some Shadow Realm sorcery to bring us to the battle we need faster. So, there's going to be a moment where we will appear upon Warmech. We might be significantly more powerful, or slightly. It depends how long it takes. It's time for some Shadow Realm sorcery to bring us ready to wage war against Warmech. I'll see you then, my friends. And thank you for watching the video. Let's begin. Let's cast some sorcery. Say the magic word. Alakazam. Through time and space, we've arrived at this moment. Warmech is upon us. We need to defend at all costs. Let's see how much power he has. Warmech launches a nuke. It inflicts massive damage on the party. What we need to do is... let's see, how can we take this down? Cover health to our healer. Defend with Shenwu. Heal Aura. And then we'll cast Flare. Massive damage. Bring Ruin. Cast Flare. This enemy disguised as a normal creature is the ruin of many players' existence. You have to be very careful here. We cast Proterra on the entire party. Any point it could nuke. Destroy the whole party at once, and it regenerates 100 HP per turn. I think a Mono can survive this. The focus is keeping the party healed, because this nuke is devastating. Shenwu caught off guard, but we can turn this to our advantage. Use the healing helm to heal the whole party. Then we'll cast full light on Shenwu. Then we'll cast a Thunderga on Warmech. full life. Everybody needs to heal up now. Healaga. I'm gonna cast haste on Shenwu.
What the hell is that?
He ran away. After all that, he ran away. That's not satisfying enough. We gotta bump into him again. The Warmech fled. That just shows you how powerful that creature is. It escaped. It brought ruin to our party. So I think the solution is we're going to have to take down Warmech with raw force. I can't believe that. We were getting set up to destroy them. We went through a journey of time and space, and then the Warmech just ran away. The absolute cheekiness of that happening. We went through time and space, and now every character is level 50, and then it just ran away just like that. Oh man. We gotta chase down Warmech again, and this time we will defeat them. Right. Let's quick save on this. Save complete. So, we're gonna use Shadow Realm sorcery, and I'm going to time jump to the moment we encounter Warmech again. There could be a big discrepancy in our levels. We could go from level 54 to nothing, to 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Hell, even 100. We don't know when Warmech is going to appear. So, say the magic words of me. Alakazam. There he is. The creature that eluded us. Warmech. Well, I think last time we were taking a little bit easy on Warmech, focusing too much on defense and survival. I reckon this time we just need to go all out. Full offense. Try and destroy Warmech before they can destroy us. Holy, Flare, Shenwu's Blue Dragon Fists, and Amano's legendary Excalibur. Let's do this. Let's wage war on Warmech. Holy, Flare, bring ruin to Warmech. He recovers 100 HP. Let's try it again. Holy. Flare. He drops the nuke, delivering massive damage. Lucille, retaliate with Holy. Victory is ours. We have conquered Final Fantasy Superboss, Warmech. The trick was, the secret if you will, if you have a party that is strong enough to withstand the devastating nuclear attack that he launches, then go in with all-out offense, and then Warmech should be destroyed. It took the most powerful magic we could muster, but now the superboss of Final Fantasy is now defeated. Besides a gigantic amount of experience points and gil, you do not get any special reward for defeating Warmech. Besides, of course, bragging rights. Later Final Fantasy titles tend to give you some kind of reward, such as a legendary weapon, or even a certificate that shows up in your menu screen saying that you're the best. This training is now complete. We have conquered Warmech, one of the most powerful creatures in the world of Final Fantasy, and one of the earliest concepts in gaming history of an optional superboss. This training has prepared us well for the final challenge of Final Fantasy ASMR. If we take a look at the menu right now, look at the power leap. Every character, every warrior of light, is now level 55. Lucille is equipped with the most potent of healing magics, as well as Erebus with the most potent destructive magic. Now we only have one challenge left. This requires us to go back to where it all began. We've opened every single chest in the entire game. That is, with the exception of where it all started, with our first boss encounter with Garland, the rogue knight of Cornelia, in the Chaos Shrine. Notice on the map it is in the very center of the world. Every single area where an elemental fiend has lurked has all converged on this location. So, let's take our trusty airship and head back to Cornelia, where it all began, where the legendary adventure started. We aim to end it here as well. So we must make final preparations for the Chaos Shrine. I'm a dancer. What's that? You want to dance at me? I don't know what else to tell you. How about we have that dance? You know what, Shenwu? Maybe after this adventure is done, you'll get that dance with the girl you wanted. Lucille's healing magics will help us on our path to victory. The forbidden magic that causes destruction, wielded by Erebus, will also bring us strong odds of victory. And look at the character development of Erebus, going from shy, with a black mage's cap and obscured face, to this rugged-looking character, and Amano, our typical RPG hero, a stalwart defender and protector of both friends and the world alike. So, if we're going into possibly the final dungeon of Final Fantasy ASMR, we need to be prepared. We need to buy as many items as we can get. Now look, we've maxed out our gil, so we don't need to worry about spending too much. High potions, so we can heal outside of battle. Ethers, which restores 1 MP for each magic level. I think for the final dungeon, we're going to refrain from using items for casting spells, and instead use these ethers. Also going to buy Phoenix Downs for as many revives as we need in case Lucille falls. Now we have Remedies, the most potent healing item, which cures all ailments except stone and KO, so we need gold needles for this. That should set us up pretty well. We won't need a majority of this stuff, but you never know when it might come in handy. Now it's time for one final rest before we go to the Chaos Shrine. We've come a long way. Amano has gone from a warrior to a knight. A paladin, you could say. Amano really puts the pal in paladin, protecting their friends with an incredible defense. Able to cast low-level white magic, cure, protect, blink, blindner, silence, null shock, cura, and null blaze. Amano is equipped with the legendary weapon forged from adamantite, known as Excalibur, equipped with diamond armor that gives him a resistance to lightning, and an Aegis shield, which guards against stone and poison. Shenwu hasn't really changed much since we first brought them along as a warrior of light. Shenwu only needs a few things: training, battle, and only a handful of items. He only needs the ribbon to protect from elemental attacks and status effects, and a protect ring to guard against instant death. But when you look at the attack stat, Shenwu has less attack than Amano, but can hit many more times. Don't be fooled by the stats. Shenwu is an absolute powerhouse. If I had to give him a nickname, I'd call him the Blue Dragon of the Warriors of Light. And why not? Let's call Amano the Paragon of Light, the Warrior of Light. Lucille, having beginnings as a white mage, is now a white wizard. The kind Lucille has a healing staff to cure all of our allies, a protect cloak to defend herself, protection against instant death and elemental attacks and status effects thanks to the ribbon, and a white robe that guards against fire and instant death and casts Invisira. I guess if I had to give a nickname to Lucille, Amano is the warrior or paragon of light. I would call Lucille the angel of light. After all, Lucille has been our guardian angel, shielding us from status effects, curing the wounded, and generally being all the support you could ever need. And finally, Erebus. Even though black magic may be shunned upon depending on what kind of world we're in, the power of darkness is our ally. Erebus can use potent status effects, spells that can instantly destroy our foes, and powerful non-elemental magic. Erebus is equipped with a mage's staff allowing them to cast fire an infinite amount of times, protection from elemental attacks and status effects, and is wearing a black robe that can cast Blizzara when used, and guards against ice and time irregularities. Even though Erebus has the least health, the intellect is through the roof with Erebus, a very wise, forbidden master of dark magic. So, we have the Warrior of Light, the Blue Dragon, the Angel of Light, and I guess I can call Erebus, with their mastery of black magic, the Forbidden Sage. I like the ring of that. What do you think? After all, this is the first entry in a saga that would go on to become legendary, and I want to make this first entry feel as legendary as possible. Now, time for an iconic and legendary rest. And the first inn we rested in the game, in Cornelia. Please, continue to join me as we conclude the final chapter of Final Fantasy ASMR. Let us rest up, and I hope you are too. Thank you for watching, my friends. Let's rest up, and may the Warriors of Light be ready for the final battle. Now back to the world map. We set out from Cornelia one final time. We're actually going to leave the airship behind for now. We're going to walk up here. Everything we have done has led to this moment, back where the first chapter of Final Fantasy ASMR began, at the Chaos Shrine where we fought the rogue Cornelian Knight Garland. But we have discovered through the elemental fiend's convergence on this location that there could be something darker controlling everything that has been going on so far, hidden behind the scenes. Now, it is time to make a final safety save. Save complete. Now that we're all saved up, it's time to enter where it all began, the Chaos Shrine. Let's do this. Let's conclude this final chapter of Final Fantasy ASMR. There were these small rooms that had treasure chests inside. Let's just double check we got all of them. It has been a few chapters. We want to make sure not only do we defeat every challenge this game has to offer, we've conquered Warmech, so it'd be a shame to leave a few treasure chests behind. Apparently there's another 7 treasure chests left. The final 7 treasure chests in Final Fantasy ASMR. Let's do this. The room where we fought Garland. Bats. 5 of them. We are sky people. We came to this shrine in our attempt to locate the source of the world's ruin. That was 400 years ago. The curse of the fiends changed us into these forms and prevented us from speaking. The light of the crystals has enabled us to speak again. The power of the 4 fiends absorbed from the crystals was being fed into the past by the black crystal. The one distorting the beautiful light of the crystals is the one we've been looking for all along. The true root of all evil lies just ahead. Shine the light of the 4 crystals on the black crystal in the center of the chamber. Doing so will open a time portal to this shrine as it existed 2,000 years ago. We're going 2,000 years into the past. The light of the 4 we've been seeking all this time. The light will open the time portal. The portal will transport you 2,000 years into the past to the beginning of the time loop. If we go 2,000 years into the past, we can perhaps correct the root of all of this evil before it ever has a chance to spread. Whatever evil lurks inside this black crystal 2,000 years in the past is the source of all this death, misery, and despair in the world of Final Fantasy. With our warriors of light, Amano, Shenwu, Lucille, Erebus, we have conquered Warmech, obtained legendary weapons, and mastered all forms of magic. If there's ever a time to take on the final challenge, it is now. Let us approach the black crystal and go through time. Shine the 4 crystals upon the black crystal and open a portal to the time loop. You focus the light of the 4 shining crystals, fire, earth, water, and wind, onto the black crystal. The flow of time surges and space begins to warp. Just one step forward and you will travel back 2,000 years in time. We will do what we must. This is why treasure chests were still hidden in the Chaos Shrine. 2,000 years in the past. There are 4 stairways in here. Four chimeras. Let's do this. Excalibur slays one chimera. Shenwu's blue dragon fists. Warp is ineffective, but that's okay. We have plenty of resources to replenish our magic. And when all else fails, Shenwu will punch it all away. We will save Warp for large groups of enemies. Let's take this bottom left path. Two basilisks, but we have a preemptive strike. Quick work for the Warriors of Light, who have grown ever so powerful in their strength. Appears to be nothing on this path. Now let's go to the bottom right of the Chaos Shrine. This triumphant, heroic theme, almost the theme of our Warriors of Light. A path through here. Let's see where it leads. There is one chamber through here. No matter what lies ahead, we will conquer it. A death eye. But Excalibur takes them out with no problem whatsoever. Two treasure chests, a dry ether, and an elixir, two very potent items. A pathway appears. A few rooms around here. Nothing inside here. Nothing in there, nothing in there. Blocked off. But there's a gap up here we can explore. It seems like this long winding path might actually lead to where we need to go. So let's take an alternative path. See if we can find any lost treasures. We want to obtain every treasure in Final Fantasy ASMR after all. So let's go back from whence we came. With the encounters off, this makes things much more manageable. The Death Eye appears again, but it's no match for the power of the legendary weapon Excalibur. So we need to remember this. The bottom right chamber leads us to the longest path. It's the most likely path that will lead us to whatever the root of this great evil is. Let's try the top right now. If we can. Huh. I see. Let's go back down here. So there is nothing in this area. So the only way to go is from the bottom right path. So be it. We'll make sure not to miss anything then when we're going down here. "2,000 years in the past. Such a large, sprawling space. Now we don't need to wonder what the Chaos Shrine was like long ago. But death still lingers in this area, even in the past. Evil roots have taken form, both in the past, present, and potentially future, if we do not destroy it with the power of the crystals." So now we can access the top left path. We'll turn the encounters on for a bit and get some practice in. 4 stone golems. Heal our party. Excalibur slays 1 golem, and Erebus casts Flare, the most potent black magic. Victory is ours. Even more of them. Erebus, finish them off. They're trying to run away. The power of Flare destroys our foes. Nothing in this area either. So there must be treasure chests somewhere around here. The wind crystal? No, the earth crystal. It's Lich. What's Lich doing in the past? This can't be right. The root of the evil has somehow awakened the elemental fiends. Now we need to fight Lich one more time and banish the fiend of earth from the time loop. Lich is an undead creature, so they are susceptible to light-based magic and fire. Diaja, banish Lich, the power of light, and Firaga to burn them away. Defend just in case. We will now use Holy, as well as another Firaga spell. Lucille, cast Holy on Lich, and Firaga, burn them with the darkest of infernos. Keep our defense up. Leave this up to our white and black wizards. And this time we're going to use Flare. Powerful non-elemental magic. We are not the warriors of light we were when we first faced Lich. Lucille and the power of Diaja slays Lich one more time, the elemental fiend of Earth. Significantly easier than the last time we fought Lich. Lich is banished from the time loop. Does this mean all of the elemental fiends are roaming around here? That's not good. It might be a case where we have to fight all 4 of them in a single go, but after fighting and defeating Warmech, I believe the Warriors of Light are indeed ready. There's the fire crystal. I wonder if Marilith is nearby. A treasure chest. The chest contained a protect ring which guards from instant death. Anything down here? Another room, perhaps more treasure. The chest contained Sasuke's blade. Sasuke's blade is a very powerful weapon. A small katana used by ninja. If you chose the thief class of character at the beginning of the game, when they gain their ascension and the proof of courage from Bahamut, they would evolve from a thief to a ninja. So a Sasuke's blade would be a very powerful weapon for them. However, we do not have a ninja in our team, but it's good for other people with different playstyles. And there's 2 treasure chests in this area. There must not be many left then. 3 in total. We have to go deeper and deeper into the Chaos Shrine to unlock the final treasures that could mean the difference between saving the world and an eternal time loop of darkness and despair. The chest contained a protect cloak. Excellent. This is the final piece we need for Erebus, the only armor piece that Erebus can really wear. It gives a slight increase to their defense. But this pretty much makes Lucille and Erebus almost mirror images of each other. 1 weapon for healing, and 1 for attacking. Resistance to elemental attacks and status effects. This is pretty much the optimal setup I'm going for the entire party of Warriors of Light. But there's still more treasure to be found. The chest contained an elixir. That leaves only 1 treasure chest left in Final Fantasy ASMR. I wonder what it could be. Perhaps it could be a game-altering item. Now, use Lucille's Healara to cure the party. It looks like we're going to have to go for 1 more round with the elemental fiend of fire, Marilith. Let's go. Marilith has no elemental weakness. However, they did cast a lot of magic as well as physical attacks, so we will guard from that. Going to cast haste on Shenwu to further boost the number of attacks. Null All will guard Amano from elemental attacks. Targeting Erebus, our Black Mage. We will use a heal spell on Erebus. Prepare with Flare. Massive damage. Let's return the favor. Kuraja heals Erebus. Then Healaga. Luckily targeting Amano, who can survive the hits. Erebus, unleash chaos. Flare banishes Marilith, the elemental fiend of flame, from the time loop. I'm so proud of my warriors of light for now conquering their second elemental fiend in a row. That means we got 2 more left from the time loop. Where is the final treasure chest? I don't see it anywhere. We have to get to the bottom right of the screen. Let's turn the encounters on. We don't need the experience, we don't need the gil. But you never know. Water elementals and a water naga. Blizzara does very good damage. Making quick work of all of our foes. White sharks and 6 Sahagin princes. Target the sharks. Defend. And let's try and use warp magic, one of the most forbidden spells of all. It might not trigger, but there's a lot of enemies it could potentially hit. The 2 sharks are slain. Erebus casts Warp, banishing 2 foes to an alternate dimension. The Shadow Realm, if you will. Since they're water-based enemies, Thunderga would do very nice. Thunderga, smite our foes with bolts of magic thunder. The strength of our party is something else now. Sea snakes and sea trolls. Thunderga should do very nicely against them all. Work your magic, Erebus. Excellent. The power of light and darkness coexisting as a team. You cannot appreciate the light without the dark. Seems the way through is this door on the right. Excellent work. And to think Thunderga is now one of our lower level spells because of the sheer strength increase of Erebus and their intellect. Thunderga, a lower level spell, is enough to destroy our foes. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy though. We need to keep going forwards. The water crystal. That means Kraken is nearby. Let's heal up. Let's do this, Warriors of Light. One more battle with the elemental fiend of water, Kraken. Let's get Kraken then. Kraken was one of the most formidable foes out of the elemental fiends. We're already protected against elemental attacks. Let's see if we can cast Silence on Kraken. If not, we'll have to go with Flare. He still has powerful physical attacks. Ineffective. That's alright. We have many ways to battle. Flare is a beautiful spell because it has no elemental affinity. It's just very powerful raw damage that can be used on anyone. Let's see if a Thunderga is effective. healing and attacking. We will also attack with Lucille and Holy. We have no more casts of Flare left. Another Thundaga will do nicely. Lucille cast Holy on Kraken. Shenwu. The Fists of the Blue Dragon, Shenwu. Banish the elemental fiend of water, Kraken, out of the time stream. We have now defeated the third elemental fiend, Kraken. Truly, we are now warriors of legend. There's one room in the bottom right. I am willing to bet it's the final treasure chest of Final Fantasy ASMR. Let's hype it up. The final treasure chest of Final Fantasy ASMR. What could this item be? The chest contained Masamune. Masamune? Masamune? It's up to you how you pronounce it. Masamune is a legendary weapon. Masamune is a weapon that would go on to stay in many Final Fantasy titles. A legendary katana without match, plus 56 attack and plus 50 accuracy. But here's the beautiful thing about it. It does give more attack than Excalibur, but it also loses out on being able to exploit enemy weaknesses. Plus, I feel like Excalibur is just the weapon for Amano. It's just right. Now, the beauty of Masamune is it can be equipped by any party member. This means Shenwu, even Lucille, or Erebus could wield this legendary blade. So for the first time in the playthrough, besides the very beginning of our journey, where we use nunchucks, let's do the unthinkable. Let's give Shenwu a weapon to show he means business. Shenwu is now so powerful that they don't need a weapon, but I want to showcase this legendary weapon for you all. Now that we know we've conquered all of the treasures in Final Fantasy ASMR, let's see how the legendary blade Masamune fares in the hands of a master like Shenwu. Excalibur. Your turn, Shenwu. Incredible damage. Shenwu using a weapon. Who would have thought it? Three vampire lords go down. Shenwu is already a specimen without a weapon. Now let's check this out. Let's give the Masamune to Lucille. After all, sharing is indeed caring. Let's see how much damage Lucille can do with the Masamune. Might not get a chance because Erebus is hogging all of the glory with Firaga on these vampires who are very susceptible to flame. Let's see how powerful Lucille can be with the Masamune. While it's not as much damage as Shenwu and Amano could dish out, it's still a very powerful weapon, even in the hands of Lucille, who is no stranger to hitting enemies with weapons, like hammers. just to make things fair. We're gonna give Erebus a go with the Masamune. That way nobody gets left out. Everyone gets a turn. Everyone gets at least one. That's more like it. The accuracy rate, though, thanks to using the Masamune, is incredible. I think it's suitable for taking on the Queen of all Dragons, as the Wind Crystal is upon us, which means Tiamat, the elemental fiend of wind, is nearby. Restores 5 MP for each magic level. This will give us 5 more casts of Flare. One more time, a battle with Tiamat, the Queen of all Dragons, elemental fiend of wind. Let's go all out. Holy. All our characters, thanks to their ribbons, are shielded from flame except Amano. But they're such an absolute legend they can tank it anyways. Continue to cast Flare. Even the Queen of Dragons is no match for the Warriors of Light now. Masamune and Excalibur working in unison, alongside the forces of light and darkness. We truly have a balance that will create balance between light and dark in the world. Let's go for it. Let's end this now. Holy. Flare, bring ruin to Tiamat. One more cast. Devastation unleashed. Holy. Power of light, destroy our foes. Let's all defend now from this ice storm. Shenwu using a weapon for the first time in this ASMR playthrough, besides the nunchucks, but don't say that in front of Shenwu. After all, the training was for a reason, so that Shenwu wouldn't need a weapon. Think about how badass that is. Shenwu is now so powerful, they are offered a legendary weapon beyond match, and they have the ability to say, without kidding, that they refuse. They don't need it. True strength lies within them. Thundergar, smite the Queen of Dragons. Gone from her lofty perch and banished from the time stream. The Warriors of Light have banished all 4 elemental fiends from the Chaos Shrine and Time Stream 2,000 years in the past. B5. Only one more encounter left, I believe. This looks like the room where we encountered Garland. We've already defeated the 4 elemental fiends, which means whatever has been controlling them The root of this evil, this chaos, if you will, is all that stands between us, victory, and restoring the world, all of it, to grace. It's time to prepare for the final battle. So it's good timing to completely restore Lucille and Erebus's magic and use all of our items that we purchased before coming here. High potions. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Now we're going to make one final quick save in Final Fantasy ASMR, and I hope you enjoy as we bring this legendary adventure in Final Fantasy ASMR to a close. Let's save. Final quick save complete. We need to do one last thing before we take on the final challenge in Final Fantasy ASMR. Our character development is complete. Amano is always ready to destroy evil and protect their friends. With the power of the legendary Excalibur, Shenwu has finally mastered themselves, and so can turn down a legendary weapon, for true strength lies within. Lucille will be able to care for her friends by protecting them with healing magic and resistance to status effects, and Erebus has gotten over their shyness and is willing to bring the fight to their foes with forbidden magic and resistances to all elements, culminated through means of study of black forbidden magic. It's time to find the root of all evil in Final Fantasy. Let us close this final chapter in the grand adventure that is Final Fantasy ASMR. Let's go. That can't be. Do you remember me? I was once the most renowned knight of Cornelia. 2,000 years from now, you killed me. I am Garland. Oh, you did defeat me then. But the four great forces saved me by sending me back through time. Once here I sent the four fiends into the future, where they shall once again use the four great forces to send me into the past. In 2,000 years, I will remember none of this. But I will be reborn again here. So even as you die, again and again, I shall return. Born again into this endless cycle that I have created. The true root of all this evil, chaos, is unleashed. Garland, who we defeated in the first chapter of Final Fantasy ASMR, has no memory of being sent by the four elemental fiends and the influence of the being of darkness, chaos. The only hope of salvation is to banish chaos itself, a godlike entity, from the time stream. It's the only hope we have, but it will not be easy. Chaos is the most powerful creature in Final Fantasy ASMR, so we need to be protected. Lucille, cast Proterra. Erebus, cast Haste on Shenwu. even the combined might of the Warriors of Light, who are capable of conquering Warmech. We now face our ultimate challenge. It's time to use as many of our most powerful items as we can. Lucille will need to defend. We'll also cast haste on Amano. Blizzara. Elemental resistance is coming in handy. We need to stand together as one. A team of Warriors of Light. We shall banish the very concept of the cycle of life and death itself. We will take on chaos. Chaos may be unleashed, but so is the might of the Warriors of Light. Banish this wretched creature from whence it came. Cast Null All on Amano to give elemental resistances. Then we will cast Temper on Shenwu to boost their attack. Now we need to prioritize protecting our mages. We need to protect Erebus. Everyone form up, help our friend. Cyclone. Erebus falls. We're not done yet. We can do this. Amano, Shenwu continue to attack. Lucille, work your magic. Cast full life on Erebus. Restore the fallen warrior. Rise again, fallen warrior. We need to do something. We need to be prepared for anything. Chaos has cast haste on themselves, doubling their number of attacks. Cyclone. Chaos is using all of the elements of the 4 elemental fiends. Fire, wind, water, earth. We need to overcome this insurmountable challenge. It's going to take everything we've got. Continue to keep everyone healed as much as we possibly can. Heal. Chaos's power is immense, enough to rend time and space itself. We need to break through the boundaries of time, but the Warriors of Light have a bond beyond time. We can conquer this challenge. Continue to heal. Blizzaga. Elemental resistance is coming in very useful. Excalibur. Continue to strike chaos. We can use the Giant's Gloves to cast Saber on Amano to further boost their attack. All we can do is protect and attack. It's our only hope. Amano buffs their attack and accuracy with Saber. 531 damage even to a mono. Flare, bring ruin to chaos itself. Darkness and light combine to unleash ruin upon chaos. We will defy destiny and make our very own. We will carve our own fate. Erebus has fallen again. We must prepare for any kind of attack on Lucille, who is left exposed, while she heals Erebus with the most powerful of white magics. Restore Erebus back to full health. We need to consider what we do very carefully. Need to make sure everyone can survive this encounter. Another cast of flare. Tsunami. The power of water. Amano is low in health, but our stockpile of high potions is coming in very useful. Erebus, get your revenge. We must continue to heal. We'll have to have Erebus casting heals as well, while our Master and our Knight deal out damage. But Lucille has now fallen. This is very bad. Lucille is the heart of the party. We must continue to support our party as much as we can. Slow. Phoenix Down brings Lucille back to health, but not much left. Everyone protect Lucille. Hold them off, Erebus, with flare. Barely surviving, but with an elixir, Lucille is back to full health. This is an incredible challenge. We're going to try and get a mono to prioritize all attacking. We're going to put all our faith in Amano's strength and Excalibur. We are going to continue to buff Amano with temper. The one who has defended us since the very beginning from all harm. Amano has the best odds of survival. We will continue to protect the entire party. We will heal with items wherever necessary. And Erebus will empower our friend Amano. Each cast of temper keeps stacking them up for increased attack. Hilaga. We need to keep this up. The power of Excalibur. Pierce the heavens and the hells through time and space. We must destroy chaos. Continue using high potions on the off chance chaos gets a good hit in. Stand strong, stand together. As Amano's strength continues to increase, it's all up to us working as a team. Warriors of Light, united. As Amano deals the finishing blow, Erebus falls, but with the final enhancement of the spell temper, Chaos, the god entity of darkness, disappears. But the good thing Lucille's nearby, so Erebus will rise again, thanks to the help of all 4 friends working together. Amano, Shenwu, Lucille, and Erebus have saved the world. The time loop was severed at last. The endless struggle that raged over 2,000 years had ended, and peace prevailed once more. The light of the 4 crystals restored the forces of wind, water, earth, and fire. It was a mere trick of fate that had given rise to the chain of Garland's wrath, but magnified by the 4 forces meant to guide our world. That trick of fate also gave birth to the fiends. Monsters had run rampant as the world sank into darkness. But all that is now past. With the 4 forces flowing as they were meant, the warriors prepared to cross time and return to the world they knew, a world where Princess Sarah, Queen Jane, and even Garland himself await. When was this fateful day that sent time spiraling into a loop? None can say. It seemed the cycle into which time had fallen would last forever. But the bravery of our 4 young travelers changed that. They took the forces that filled the world with darkness and used them to bathe the world in light. None will ever recall their struggle that the 4 endured, for the breaking of the chain means that it never existed. But within the tales of fantasy that people tell, the memory of their deeds lives on. Tales of dwarves and elves, of dragons, and shining civilizations that reached for the heavens even as they fell. And now, their return is upon us. With the memory of their struggle buried deep in their hearts. They will quietly watch over our world. Remember always that the forces of the world must be used as they were intended, that the power of light must never be used for dark, and that the true crystals reside in your heart. For you are the warrior who crossed time. You are the bringer of light. Throughout time and space, the loop of time is brought to a close. Truly, this is the final fantasy. Amano, Shenwu, Lucille, Erebus, all four of them shall return to the present day of a world saved from darkness, all in balance as it should be. One final tale, one final fantasy. And so, this concludes the final chapter of Final Fantasy ASMR. With the cycle closed, the world is restored to balance. The influence of the elemental fiends and chaos is stopped forever. Princess Sarah is safe, and Garland themselves never turns to evil, remaining the noble knight of Cornelia they always should have been. In the aftermath of this grand adventure, Lucille would heal Erebus from their fallen state, their final action not being to destroy, but to help their friend Amano. Together with teamwork, they drew upon the power of both light and darkness to banish chaos and cleanse the world into true balance. Cornelia and the entire world is saved, and the warriors of light have no memory of what happened. But the four warriors of light will stand there forever, always watching over the world. Thank you for watching this ASMR entertainment series. I hope you have enjoyed this series just as much as I have. Final Fantasy is a legendary game series, and I thought it appropriate to start with the one that began it all, with modern touches. Swords, magic, storytelling, characters, a world of exploration and wonder. This is something I hope has brought you a wonderful and relaxing ASMR entertaining experience. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this series. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am Alakazam ASMR, and it has been my pleasure to bring you Final Fantasy ASMR. As we conclude this grand adventure, I would like to humbly ask if this series was to your liking. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to let me know by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really makes a world of difference, and just like the Warriors of Light, it's not one individual, it's all of us working together to make miracles and magic happen. So take care of yourself, my friends. This may be the final fantasy, but there are many more adventures to be had in the future, and I hope you will join me as I go into even more worlds of wonder and mystery. Feel free to check out my channel, where there are varieties of different playlists of different game genres, character roleplays, and many, many more to come in the future. As always, this is your friend, Alakazam ASMR, and thank you for joining myself, Amano, Shenwu, Lucille, and Erebus as we closed the time loop and brought the world into harmony and peace. Amano's gotta have a word with Princess Sarah. She had something she wanted to tell him. Maybe a crush, who knows? Zhenwu, on the other hand, definitely needs to go back and get that dance, and Cornelia with the dancer. You sly dragon. Lucille will most likely care for everyone, with her powerful healing magic and compassion for all life. And Erebus will be most surprised that their black magic was used not to destroy, but to give strength to their friend. Strength that saved the world. For it was darkness and light that combined that saved the world. And as they go back to Cornelia, there will be a familiar face waiting. Garland, rogue knight of Cornelia no more. Garland, the hero of Cornelia. I think that's a very suitable and wholesome conclusion to Final Fantasy ASMR. Please join me in the future as we explore different dimensions and different worlds to bring you an ASMR entertainment experience tailor-made to every single one of you. To bring you happiness, joy, relaxation, humor, light, if you will. I hope this adventure has truly brought something wonderful into your lives. Thank you. I am truly humbled by your kindness, and together, my friends, we will go on to do great things as this channel goes further and further into more challenges that I am willing to accept. Until then, as always, this is Alakazam ASMR, and thank you for watching Final Fantasy ASMR. Take care of yourself, my friends. May the light guide you, fellow warriors of light. Thank you for everything. I'll see you soon in the next grand adventure with myself, Alakazam ASMR, and my spirits within, every single one of you who has stopped by to join our adventures. Have a wonderful day, no matter who you are or where you are. As always, take care of yourself, my friends. And adios, fellow warriors of light.